Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst team. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Four million people in Sri Lanka to receive COVID-19 vaccine from March. 3 Ukrainian tourists who arrived in Sri Lanka test positive for COVID-19. Long-distance buses and short-distance trains to commence operations from the 1st of January. Police request people to limit gatherings as tomorrow could be crucial. One person killed in flash floods at a construction site in Colombo. Britain's lockdown may be expanded as COVID-19 case numbers surge.
Now those stories in detail. State Minister of Primary Healthcare, Epidemics and COVID Disease Control, Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopulle, says over 4 million people have been identified as the first group of people to receive the COVID-19 vaccine.
The State Minister said that out of the vaccines that are currently in production, a vaccine will be ordered and obtained through the World Health Organization.
We will bring it in stages. We have looked into the numbers. We will give it to about 4.2 million people who are at risk. We are discussing on a few vaccines. Pfizer-BioNTech is already in use in the UK. Moderna will not be given outside of the US. There is the Oxford, AstraZeneca and the Russian vaccine. So there are several options. Most vaccines are 95% safe. We hope to order and bring those here. There is a problem with the Pfizer vaccine. With the condition in Sri Lanka, it is difficult to store it at -70 degrees. Whatever the vaccine we get, we will give it to the people. It's difficult to name dates, but we are planning to commence this from March.
As of late, most countries across the world have commenced the procedure of using the vaccines to combat COVID-19. Belgium, Latvia, Indonesia, America, United States of America, Russia, United Arab Emirates, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Mexico, Serbia and Switzerland have begun injecting the vaccine. Iran, Singapore and Netherlands are the countries that expect to bring down and use the vaccine in the future.
3 Ukrainian tourists who arrived in the country 3 days ago have tested positive for COVID-19. This was confirmed a short while ago by the Deputy Director General of Health Services, Hemant Herath.
A pilot project is launched to bring down tourists adhering to COVID-19 health guidelines under an air bubble concept. As the first batch of this program, 180 Ukrainian tourists arrived in the country on the 28th of this month. They were subject to PCR tests upon arrival and were sent to designated hotels. The 3 COVID-19 patients were discovered through these PCR tests.
Meanwhile, DRG Ajit Rohana has instructed the public to restrict get-togethers during the season. It is a decisive day tomorrow. We are expecting you all to hold your celebrations with your family members. From tomorrow onwards, police officers in civil attire will be deployed in buses operating from Colombo.
In one of your headline-making stories, according to transport officials, long-distance services will resume as usual starting January 1st, 2021.
The Director General of the National Transport Commission, Commander Nilan Mirendo, said that bus owners have been informed to resume transportation services. However, the Department of Railways said long-distance train services will no longer be operational. The department said the relevant services will be suspended until health recommendations are received. The department further noted that office train services will operate as usual.
The Deputy Chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Mahinda Amaravira, says that several members of the ruling party are engaging in pointless politics that would not benefit anyone.
The people who spoke are the new members of the governing faction. They do not have an understanding about the situation if we are not there. We understand that some of them run their mouths. We are not bound to answer those people. We carry out our affairs with the leaders. We have told them about these people. How many things did they say against us during the previous election? Most of these people who talk are the people who are at the bottom of many lists. If they live up to the way they talk, they should end up on the top of those lists. They did not go through half the things we went through back in the day. Contrary to what they said, we received votes in thousands. We will not be disheartened by the things they say. They say these things because they are disheartened. The Central Working Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is due to convene under the patronage of its chairman, former President Maithripala Sirisena, today.
A man was found dead inside the basement of a construction site located down Duplication Road in Kolpiti following heavy rains yesterday.
According to reports, workers at the construction site had been asleep in the basement following the day's work when the basement was filled with water. However, they managed to climb out, unaware one person was not among them. Flash floods inundated the basement of the construction site yesterday following a heavy downpour experienced in Colombo. Our correspondent noted that the worker had been stuck in the basement, that is around 12 feet in depth. The Fire and Rescue Department at the Kolpiti Police carried out rescue operations since early morning today. However, they were unable to save the worker's life. The water came in suddenly. We were in the basement. It got flooded. In less than 30 minutes it was flooded. We were in the basement. The remains were taken out of the location this morning. The deceased was a 54-year-old resident of Uwaparnagama in Valimada.
Although one whole year has lapsed since areas surrounding the Ambewala irrigation project suffered a landslide, residents of those areas are yet to receive permanent solutions. As a result, 2,500 families continue to grapple with water.
2,500 families and 4,500 farmers reaped the benefits of the Ambewala irrigation project. More than 300 meters of the canal was damaged due to the landslide that occurred 1.5 years ago. As a temporary solution for this issue, the Department of Irrigation, in a joint effort with agricultural organizations, installed a pipeline to the system. However, that pipeline too has been damaged due to torrential rains which were experienced in the area.
Renovation of the Panangala Vaver in Bandaravilla in the Badula district commenced today under the Accelerated National Development Program for Irrigation and Prosperity. It was commenced under the auspices of Minister of Irrigation Chamal Rajapaksa.
The program aims to renovate one tank located in each Grama Seva division in the country.
People living in these areas are constantly asking for compensation for the damages caused through the Umawe project. We urge you not to let this matter be passed on to another minister and to provide a solution for it. This tunnel has caused many hardships to the people living here. There has been no estimation about it. The walls have cracked, the wells have dried up. We are carrying out the necessary steps for this. Some people have obtained compensation. There are reports that some even have obtained compensation twice. This project not only helps irrigation but generates electricity as well. The Umawe project will help irrigate Vallavaya, Thanamalwila and Sevanagala.
In international news, the first reported US case of the highly infectious COVID-19 variant that emerged in the UK has been confirmed in the state of Colorado.
In a statement yesterday, Colorado governor said the infected patient, a man in his 20s with no recent travel history, is currently in isolation in Elbert County, Colorado. He further said that public health officials were carrying out a thorough investigation and no infections had been discovered among close contacts so far. State health officials said they were working to identify contacts and other potential cases of the new COVID-19 variant. The news came as US President-elect Joe Biden criticized the Trump administration's distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. He said the program is falling behind schedule. Meanwhile, the US has exceeded the tally of 19 million cases and recorded more than 337,000 COVID-19 deaths, the highest figures across the world.
A 6.4 magnitude earthquake has struck central Croatia, with reports of many injuries and at least 7 deaths. Aimed at getting life back to normal. The UK has ordered 100 million doses from the manufacturer AstraZeneca, enough to vaccinate 50 million people. The approval by the medicines regulator means the vaccine is both safe and effective. It is the second job to approved in the UK after the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine was given the go-ahead in the December. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. Take care.